Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's self-healing session where we're going to be focusing on the aura. The conversation about boundaries is one that comes up frequently, and I really want to address how key the aura is to our natural boundaries. I mean, clearly the aura itself is like a membrane that contains us and contains our energies. A healthy, strong aura acts as a natural boundary. What I find is that people who feel like they really lack boundaries, maybe because I think often is because as children, we're not offered our boundaries. We're not, uh, our natural boundaries are not necessarily respected. We're not taught boundaries. But the boundary that comes from an aura that is inherently strong and with integrity, that's moving out from the inside, the central core, the central column of energy, is absolutely key to creating a force field around us that automatically, it's not that it's a sharp edge, but it's something that naturally deflects anything that's coming toward us that may not match with what it is that we're intending, or the energies that we hold. So I want to say a little bit more about that. What often, and I think this is why this conversation came up and feeling so important to me in talking with people about boundaries who are trying to learn to set boundaries. What happens is it's kind of a sharp force. It's a bit of a sharp edge. There is a pushing out energy that comes from it, or a, like, don't cross this boundary kind of a energy to it, as opposed to naturally holding an energy in your force field that, like I said, just things just kind of deflect and they're turned away. And so I want to talk now a little bit more about where the aura originates. If you're a student of Eden energy medicine, you know that the aura needs to be attached to the body. The aura really originates from the inner column, the nadis, the penetrating flow, the central and governing loop, the microcosmic orbit. I often use the metaphor of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. If you can imagine how that lightsaber lights up and it has that pulsating glow to it, and it has a sound. When we have a really strong hookup, and it's not just the hookup of central and governing, but that entire inner Sushumna column is very strong, it emanates that force field out into our aura. And there are absolutely things that we can do, and that we will do today, that help to strengthen it out here. But what I really want to be clear about is you don't start out here to create a strong aura with integrity. You start in here. So that brings me to what I'm starting to think of as the self-healing session basics. And if you haven't been with me before, this will be fairly new. If you have been with me before, you'll get how it's so important to reiterate this, because it's so key. And I think with today's session, particularly about the aura, understanding about strengthening that inner column and really bringing your full presence to doing the movements, the postures, the breath, is what is going to really give you the best bang for your buck. As my friend Deborah Burchard likes to say, sorry, she's Deborah Hurt now, you must be present to win. And so it's this technology that I have borrowed from Kundalini Yoga that helps us really have that yogic presence, so that everything that we do has much more power to it. So starting out with, let's talk about breath first. The breath is absolutely crucial to any kind of energy medicine exercises that you're doing. I've recently been reading some posts on Facebook, people who are feeling disappointed because they've been doing energy medicine for quite a long time, but they still aren't feeling like it's making a difference. What I so want to say to them or anybody else is, Focus on using your breath. That's going to make all the difference in the world between whether doing the crossover shoulder pull is effective or not, or whatever, whether it's the hookup. It's all in the breath. So let's pay attention to breath right now. If you put your hands on your lower rib cage, your shoulders need to be dropped. You don't want your shoulders up around your ears. Shoulders are dropped, hands are resting on the lower rib cage. And when you take your breath in through your nose, you want to feel your hands push out a little bit as your rib cage expands, and you want to feel your hands contract a little bit as your rib cage contracts. So in through the nose, out through the nose. And as you exhale, you really want to engage your abdominal muscles to press the air out. You want to empty your lungs of any excess stale energy or stale air. So this is the kind of breath we're going to use. As full as you can make it. I'm trying to avoid the word deep because it varies for each one of us. Full to the best of your ability. Full inhale, full exhale. Now let's talk about the pelvic floor. Really key is knowing how to do a root lock, otherwise known as a Kegel. If you gently, with the muscles of your rectum, sex organ, and the navel, or the lower dantian, slightly pull those muscles in, slightly engage them. What that's going to do is it's going to give your spine a real stable column to sit on. It's also going to help to lift energy up through your center. So when we're kind of just schlumping through the self-healing sessions is not going to give you the best bang for your buck. Having that root lock slightly engaged, just slightly engaging the rectum, sex organ, navel, is going to help to lift your spine. It's going to help to lift that energy. The next piece that's important to remember is the inner gaze resting at the third eye. So a lot of what we're going to be doing, I will ask you to have your eyes closed. Most of the time, probably all of the time, when your eyes are closed, you want that inner gaze to be resting there at your third eye. And this is not effortful. You're not squeezing and looking at that. This is a soft, open gaze, but you can let your eyes be resting right there between the eyebrows. So let's combine those three things together. We're going to be taking a full breath in, holding it at the top, contracting the root lock and the abdomen, resting the inner gaze at the third eye, and just holding. And then exhale through the nose, pressing all of the air out so your lungs are empty. And then again, inhale through the nose, fully pausing at the top, engage the root lock, let your inner gaze rest at your third eye, and just notice and feel the stillness within. To connect. So those are important things to keep in mind as we go on with the work, because we're going to be really wanting to start with that inner core and move out from there so that we are filling the field of our aura with really strong resonance that comes from within. All right, so I think that was all I wanted to say. Let's go ahead and begin. Actually, I would like to start with expelling the venom or the blowout, because in this way, we're going to let anything that we've carried into this room, anything we've carried into this moment, to the best of our ability, to let that out and go. And then we're going to start fresh. So let's stand up. If you can do this sitting down as well. I'm going to stand up. And we're going to do the blowout or expelling the venom very deliberately. And don't do this onto your computer, okay? You want to do it to a corner or out the door or out the window, but don't throw any juju onto your computer. So let's rub hands and shake them off. Hands on the thighs. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Feel your feet on the floor, and you can exhale through your mouth if you'd like. Let's do that a couple of times. Feeling your feet on the floor. Knees are soft, palms are facing forward, and as we bring our hands up, they're going to come up into a fist, and we're going to bring them up over the head, and then exhale with the sound. Inhale, very purposefully in through the nose, and exhale. And this time we're going to go real slow. And I really like to shake it all off after that. Shake and shake and shake and shake. Shake your arms, shake your legs, shake your booty, shake off any of the excess toxins that have been clinging to your aura. Excellent.